Armchair Generals. This is Gamer 1745. We're going to be playing some War Thunder. Just checking to make sure that everything is streaming correctly. It looks like it. Oh. Video. Yes. Okay. So Kronos and I are going to play some 4-3 here. Hello, Ryder M. How you doing?
Oh.
And Arno's here. Yes.
Yes, it is me.
Okay. I'm going to hit cancel on this. Are you about ready to get
it's
in
loading
here?
in.
Okay,
it's
good.
Loading in.
We'll take a moment and wait for Arno.
Yes, you better be.
We are playing at 4-3.
What nation?
Well, I'm doing Germany. Kronos is doing the USSR, the center of all the center of all evil here in the world. Yes, the USSR.
No, it's China.
China's bad. China's communist. Yes, but at least in World War II era, during the Cold War as well and whatnot, it was the USSR, and it's how you define things, because I do mean it when I said USSR and not Russia. So if we're talking about the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, ruler of China, yeah, they're terribly evil, but they come along later, and China just doesn't do well as a international nation. They just don't have that down well. Russia has even poor Russia, post Cold War, post the Soviet Union, has been able to be more influential until recently out there. So China's not good. Not saying that, but no, it's the USSR.
4-2, you said, correct?
4-3, yes. Jagdpanzer, Hetzer. Those are the two big ones that you guys will have in Germany. 4-3. Also, you can do like Wirbelwind and Ostwind.
I don't know if I should start with continue with China. They have what?
I am ready.
Okay, get ready, Kronos.
Ah, yes.
Because Arno is finally ready, so we can play. Yes, there we go. China's been in an identity crisis since the mid-19th century. So it doesn't know what it is.
Alright, where are we going, Gamer?
I'm going up sort of the middle between A and B.
What are you using?
Jagdpanzer 4. And you have to look at the effects of evil. And And I would directly say that the National Socialists of Germany, their rise is directly related to the Soviet Union. If there wasn't a Soviet Union out there to scare the hell out of the Germans, I don't think they would have chosen to go with the National Socialists. It was, in my opinion, only that sort of threat, both external and internal threat, that pushed enough of the German people together. Okay, boom, a hit, no damage. He can shoot at me now, and somebody shot at him. Dead. And somebody shot my engine. Hello, Hoffmanator. Good to see you. It's been a while. I am doing well. Getting over a cold, but I'm feeling well. Just my voice may not be the greatest.
Limit to the left.
I see. Thank you. You hit me, but you didn't kill me, so that was your mistake. Okay. That front, I don't know. I saw stuff out here to the right. Got the left danger, and I got them. Hello, T-34. Oh shit, missed. But he didn't see me, because although he's driving. And I missed again. Damn! He still hasn't seen me. Now he's dead. I wish he saw me. There we go. Way out there. Oh, he's behind the building from me. Ah, come on. Come on. And I got bombed. Although I've been very unsuccessful with my channel and getting my warnings out, but it's extreme condition. Yeah, it's that time of year. Yep, definitely. For colds. It's extreme conditions that
Lambda to the left.
cause people to take extreme reactions. And we have a lot of stresses coming up on the world soon. I'd like to see it all sort of work out, but I sort of fear that it won't. Oh, they got Arno. No, no, got him. Good work. push towards me like you're indicating. Kill over here. I see the T-34. He's one, damn it. He's critically hit, and his engines are well damaged. Okay, another round into him. There we go. He's dead now. They got Kronos. Damn. I'm getting all my friends. The Jaffe looks like it. Damn. They got him good, but somebody got me. Very true about stress. It could very well be on my end, but it seems like you were uploading less. Oh, yeah, I got very sick earlier this year, and I basically stopped all activity on the channel for about 5 months. I'm getting much better now. So, come on, guys, over near A. Deal with A. Take it. So I have not been uploading videos at all, and our squadron vehicle's good. Yeah, Toyjet recently, a few weeks ago when he was on here, somebody asked, is the vehicle good? And he gave a very good analysis of the vehicle. I forget what it was. I like certain vehicles. How good are they? Well, it depends on your play style to a point. Pick whatever vehicle. Depends on your play style. And it depends on their battle rating, and their battle ratings change at times. So, I don't think they're bad. The squadron vehicles, there's a bunch of different ones. I think it's a good idea to be in a squadron. And if you're not in mine, do let me know. I can add you to mine if you want, though there's... Oh, shit. Got my transmission again. Right as I'm cresting the hill. Damn it. So I can't get my gun over on him. Now he's going over to the side. Somebody kill this guy. And boom, he got me. Biggest problem with our squadron is a lot of our players are, shall we say, inactive, so they're not generating points. Because for squadron vehicles, you get the most points for playing, yourself, for you actively playing. But you also get points just simply for other squadron members playing. So the more members of the squadron actively playing, the more you earn there. Yeah, I'm doing much better. I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, it was serious, and I'm doing much better. I have fully moved to my secret mountain base in Arizona, up in the mountains. I don't get more specific than that. I'm out of California entirely. I still got family and whatnot there, so I go and visit once in a while. I'm thinking I'm going to go back for a day or two for Christmas, but I'm no longer
You should
living.
do so.
Yeah, I went back for Thanksgiving for the day. I think I'm going to do it. Probably going to do it. family Christmas celebration. But
Let BV go.
I have plans. It's been delayed about a year, but I have plans for a new channel. That'll not be a gaming channel. It'll be sort of a history commentary type channel that will produce. Well, the idea will be like maybe one video a week, not trying to, like I was earlier with the gaming channel, trying to do daily videos or anything like that. Just more of an edited video. Don't know how much live streaming I'm going to do for that channel. And this channel isn't going to go away either. I don't know. I definitely continue want to do some... Oh. Hello. I missed you and somebody else got me. Never paid me enough to move back to San Diego. And that's one of the nicer places. Oh yeah, there's really nice parts of San Diego. That is very true. Nowadays, yeah, I would have very serious reservations going there. Partially because the state government is trying its best to make me a felon with their gun laws or anti-gun laws or whatever. Putting artillery on P. So, I don't know if, you know, you can use terms like ever, but I don't know if in my lifetime California will ever be like it once was. And in a way, of course, it will never, because it will never be the 1970s or the 80s. There's obviously, you know, modern developments. But I don't see it going back. And some of my family that is still there, that is conservative, they live very rurally in very conservative areas, but they realize how much everything's going to shit. But for them, it's okay because they're out, you know, some places almost literally in the middle of nowhere. Hello. Things. And relatively few, because a lot of my other family moved. One of my cousins moved to Arizona, another one moved up to Idaho, but the other sort of family that's there still is, you know, living in nice parts, living in what, and they're not hard left or anything like that, but left leaning. Some are, you know, my parents' age that are still around. Of course, they're just, you know, and they're living in retirement communities, etc. And so their lives are good, but, and, oh, well, boom. So they're not feeling the pain, if you will, of being in California. You know, that. So, and the younger ones, slightly younger than me, again, they're living in a nice bubble, and they think it's going to last.
Already on B.
Yeah, me too. It's definitely one of the reasons I live in Arkansas now, and I'm happy as hell. I tried to get some relatives out, but they can be stubborn. Well, yeah, I'm not even trying to get them out because they just don't see it. They're just not going to see it. They know I'm conservative. I know they're and I've talked politics with them, and they've talked politics with me, and we understand we don't agree, and they don't hate me for it. I don't know how much dislike they have for Trump. I know they dislike Trump. That's not a question. It's just, do they, are they these, can they understand that not everything Trump does is evil or wrong or whatever, Yay, somebody got him. But they're not crazy liberals. But they trust the system. They still think it's a good idea to get COVID shots at this point. And I say that as plural because they already have COVID shots, but get updates, and they just believe the system. So trying to get them out. And I talked to them about, they understand some of my concerns and share them to a degree, but they just don't see it as that bad. I talked to them about security and whatnot. Oh, well, one of my cousins, she, oh, well, there's two policemen live on our block. Well, how the fuck does a policeman living on your street matter for anything in security? Like if somebody's breaking into your house, how is, 4 houses down or whatever it may be, I don't know, is a policeman living there going to do anything about it? And the 2 cousins particularly that I'm thinking of, there is another cousin who's also more liberal than his father, but who works for the state, works for the California state for the highways, mildly high up in it or whatever, not just a guy who repairs the roads or anything, but something of a outdoor bureaucrat as far as I understand. But the 2 girls, call them girls, are a bit younger than I am. They think the government's going to protect and take care of them, whatever that may be. Not just like the police, but if there's because there's earthquakes in California, of course. Well, just the whole government apparatus or whatever is there. And they're both financially rather successful. So it's not like they're relying on the government for financial aid, but to maintain their independent female life, they're very reliant upon others. One of them has had her house worked on considerably, and she has good handymen and contractors. And all that, and she's paying for all that just fine. But if the system isn't functioning well, I don't know how they're going to take care of themselves. And I see the system in their lifetime breaking down in California. I'm starting in the upper spot, going to circle around behind A. Not that you guys got to go with that. You can disagree with people and still like them. Lord knows I disagree with a plethora of people about things, though I fully understand I'm in a constitutional carry and castle doctrine country. Right. Well, so long as somebody shares to some degree my worldview, I can be friends with them and like them. I can't really be friends with a communist. None of them are like I say, they're old school sort of liberals, believe in social welfare, for the needy. They'll still believe that most people that get various social welfare are the needy, and not just people either who refuse to work, like we see a lot of post-pandemic people, or a lot of these incoming people, and they just don't understand because they, mostly, one of my aunts, oh yeah, and talking to her, more than a year ago, yeah, it's like almost a different world on Fox News, and I watch it sometimes. And Fox News people, I know a bunch of you are, not in America, but Fox News is not right wing. It has never been right wing. Yes, they have a few commentators on over time that are right wing, but really Fox News is sort of the center. It's not the right wing. It's just every other news thing out there is that hardcore leftist type views. So, when something is as left as everything is, yeah, Fox News seems right wing, but it really isn't. I don't really watch Newsmax, but that is more right wing. And so, yeah, bridge too far as well for me. Yes, and so it's things like that yes, you can go too far. I can't agree. But yeah, you can be an old school Democrat kind of person, and I just disagree with you, and you may have, because of the media and whatever, Trump derangement syndrome, so you can't somewhat objectively understand Trump. When he says shit, a lot of times he doesn't. Oh, well, that I've heard people, not just and mostly not my family, come back. Oh, well, Trump just said something unconstitutionally. He doesn't know. He's just ideas pop into his head that as a way to solve some problem, and he says, comes out with okay, down the field here. Let's take out the T-34 now that he stopped. And especially in his first presidency, and so he doesn't know. He's just going, yeah, we should do the X or Y, and because and he doesn't, and of course Trump never does stop to think about, presidents used to be, prior to Trump, weigh every word all the time, and this is supposedly why, and I've known people who knew him, not just met him, but knew him. George Bush, the younger, he often come out and sounded, people would say dumb or whatever. No, he was very well read and rather smart, but he would stumble over himself because he's like worried about every single word he says and its impact on, whether it's diplomacy or just the American public. And so he's, his mind is calculating what he's saying all the time, at least, when the cameras are rolling kind of stuff. And, supposedly that was part of Bush the Younger's. Hello, I see you out there. I turned in time. Not one of you. Coming off and sounding maybe not as bright as you might expect him to sound. Yes, I see you, and you are now hit, and your breach is gone. The other guy who just shot at me over here. Hello. You're dead. And I'm getting shot in the side, and my engine's out. And now I'm dead. Like a dog with a car, yeah. So, yeah, and, so you have that, but now Trump just speaks, and this is what I've told people since his first presidency. Don't pay too much attention to what he says. I mean, it may give you an idea of what he would like to do or his feelings about something. And he's always black or white when he's talking about things. Oh, it's just the most awful thing in the world. Oh, it's just the best thing in the world. Or it's, that person is just horrible. Or that person's great. And it could be the same person, whether it's 10 minutes or 10 months later. He speaks in these extreme terms. When he talks, positive or negative about things. You're going to come over the ridge here? Too high. Okay. But pay attention to what he does, not what he says. And so, and so I get people having Trump derangement syndrome. I am just very pleased with Trump. I'm not going to be upset with anybody just because they don't like him. And I think a lot of the people who have Trump derangement syndrome, I'm not talking about some people call it the terminally online or the sort of radicals. I'm talking about just your average sort of people, because they don't know how many wars Trump has stopped. Trump has gotten, and I can't count them right offhand, but I just know it's not reported on. What was it recently? He got peace agreements. I mean, just like in the last few weeks. Was it in Africa, I think, or somewhere? More peace agreements. Earlier on, he got a Rwanda-Congo peace agreement signed. Now, I don't know if these pieces are going to hold, or if they ever really, they just may withdraw the main fighting, but they're still supporting different factions and whatnot. How real these peace agreements are, but he's at least working on that stuff, and these things are coming out. That had it been a Democrat, it would have been trumpeted, from the mountaintops that Obama or Biden got to, Kazakhstan and Georgia or something to sign a peace agreement or whatever, in somewhere, and they would have been all over the place in the media with this, story. But with Trump, they don't, so they don't have a fair frame of reference for him. And so I'm just waiting to watch, because my estimation, things are going to, for the U.S., obviously things aren't okay in Ukraine. They're in the midst of a war. But for the U.S., things are going to mostly be all right. Oh, there's going to be, like for BLM, there's going to, we're going to have some more riots. We're going to have some more mass demonstrations. Talking a lot, so I'm coughing some because I'm still I feel pretty good. It's just, sort of the, recovering from a cold kind of thing. Days after, you're still sort of coughing and whatnot. That's sort of how I am right now. We're going to still have societal upset going on. I truly believe that to some degree, but I say we're going to mostly be all right. You're annoying out here, so let's see about shooting. Boom. I'm trying to maybe not go that low, but low enough to... And boom, something took me out. But I put that at 70 to 80%, things are going to be mostly okay. That leaves 20 or 30% things are going to go to shit. Not, the apocalypse, not global thermonuclear war, but things just really breaking down. I think it's actually more likely to break down more in Europe. So European friends out there, I think things are going to get bad for you. I'm not going to cause them, so just because I say them doesn't, meaning I, wishing it on you or whatever, but I think it's going to get bad. So what do you guys, change of topic? Oh, well, let's see what, I do not regret my vote, and I am under the means of be prepared for the worst, but expect little. Yeah. Change of topic. What do you guys think about the pole shift and what's going on? both you guys here on Discord,
The
or
pole shift?
yeah, pole shift.
Well, we're fucked if it happens. I don't know.
Well, you do know that magnetic north is wandering very fast, and I mean very fast. And our magnetic field of this planet is getting a lot weaker.
Oh, that's bad.
Because they saw the aurora borealis. Oh, and we're sort of at a heightened level of solar flares right now from the sun. It's sort of cyclic, and we're one of the heightened cyclic things. And like in the last month, they saw the aurora borealis down in Texas. I mean, it happens once in a great while under normal circumstances, but it's supposedly, and the further south you see it, is either the worst sort of solar flare, solar activity, whatever you want to say, is, and or the weaker the clearly end times, of course. Well, I don't believe in end times. I know, I don't think most people know what do I say? How deep our thought processes and our roots go. Like I said, for Thanksgiving, I was back in California for the day, and I went just because I basically have always lived in a town with beach in the name in California, so let you know, very sort of coastally, not just somewhere in LA or something, but in a beach city. So I went down to the pier and walked out on the pier, and I think partially because it was Thanksgiving, because I drove in from Arizona and I had some time to kill before the family Thanksgiving. Most of the people that were there were foreigners on the pier. Some European voices, but a lot of Asian voices and whatnot. So they didn't have deep Thanksgiving, family roots or whatever, and they were out there for it, I think partially. But there was this, I would say an Asian family, like I don't know, Filipino or something, or whatever, not Chinese or Japanese or something, or Korean, sort of, not South Asian when the British sort of say it and mean India, but I mean sort of, East Asian, other, I would say, or something like that. Not really sure. And the family knew the nursery rhyme "Ring Around the Posy," and it was sort of like three generations. There was one little kid, several that were in their 30s or 40s, and then like a pair of grandparents or something. There, and they sang the nursery rhyme to their little kid, and they knew it. Oh shit! I got sniped across the field. Damn! Be careful. Sometimes I take a more safe path, so I will do so. Okay, the guy is on the point near the big windmill. And I almost went over. They were sort of a bit far away, so me walking over might have been. If I was sort of sitting or standing sort of near them, I would have engaged them in conversation. But they sang the nursery rhyme. Ring around the posies, a pocket full of rosies. I'm probably going to butcher this because I don't memorize things well, but I know what it means. They have no idea what it means that they're singing this nursery rhyme to to their children. Does anybody here know what the, if you've ever heard it, Ring Around the Rosie sort of nursery rhyme means and what it's about? And most people don't even know what the words mean. It's just nonsense to them. Does anybody here know what that nursery rhyme is about? I don't, I know I'm talking to some Americans, but also Europeans. But it goes back to Europe. So and yes, I'm going to get to the end times idea that the Hoffmanator sort of there. Nobody knows what it means?
Sorry, gamer. Heard about it, but...
Okay. Okay, so nobody out here, and there's just a few, like 10 people or so watching between the two services. Well, Ring Around the Posy is the pustule ring that you get when you get the plague. You normally get one big sort of boil. Oh shit! You got my engine. Boil or pustule on your body. So that's if you're reasonably healthy and you pop it, you have a chance of surviving. If you do not pop it, you will not survive. So it's about the plague. The Ring Around the Posies are the pustule you get. A pocket full of posies. Well, that's people would carry flowers or other sweet-smelling stuff because, again, when you pop that blister, that black blister, it stinks to all hell. It just vilely stinking. And especially if you know sort of Middle Ages medicine, they're all about humors and et cetera, like that. So they may, have, various reactions to doing very well on this. You say I haven't shot them down. Okay, where's the other one? Better when they fly straight at you. Oh, there we are. Hello, that's not at me, but it's around here. Let's see. Okay, so the pocket full of posies, and normally people say it, ashes, we all fall down. No, that's not what it is. It's choose, we all fall down. The choose is sneezing because one of the symptoms of the plague is sneezing. So people, that's why the people say bless you when you sneeze. It goes back to the plague. And so this is all Middle Ages / Renaissance. That we have vestigial nursery rhymes for kids that are dealing with everyone around them, the kids falling around and dying in mass deaths. I mean, much more so than our recent pandemic that we suffered through. Really everybody falling down, or massive number, high percentage of people falling down and dying. So vestigial stuff. Well, it does partially go back to early Judea, or early Judaic religion, but also Roman religion, and Roman belief system, that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. I don't really believe that. In the long run will win. No, there is no long run will win. There's no in the end will win. Nothing ends. It's going to go on. And one of my very religious conservative relatives had a discussion with him about a year ago, and he decided not to try to debate it. And he's very strongly believing in God and the Bible and all of that. And And I said, we've already had the end times. They've come and they've gone. The world ended. And he, and Revelations, damn, it was correct. It was. And they talked about how, after the end times, it was going to be, a sort of a, I don't know if quite paradise on earth, but, sort of a Christian world. Well, it all came about. If you just add in one word to the world coming to an end, you can add in, and you can use several words there. The Roman world, I know Byzantium stays around, but much of the Roman world ends, or the civilized world, or the world that we knew, that all ended. And then you talk about, and this is definitely part of why it all played into it. The four horsemen of the apocalypse: war, famine, and pestilence. The plague. We had the plague. That came in and hit. Whatever prophet that prophesies the end times, they got it, generally right, and it happened. So, oh, we got a bot over on. So clearly the end times, of course. Well, Christians that are wandering around talking about the end times, well, the end times have come and gone. We're in the post-end times. Now, I know they talk about the second coming of Christ and all that. Well, whether he's come and gone or what, I'm not sure. But at least Revelation. So I'm not a believer now, because I think societies will rise and fall someday. Our modern world, something tragic will happen, whether it's natural, like I'm talking about the pole shift, that quite honestly does scare the hell out of me. I don't think it means that the actual axis of the Earth rotating around is going to shift and change. So, meaning if the magnetic north goes to South Pole, goes to the south, I don't think it means the planet's going to flip upside down, relative to the other planets in the universe. I think it just means that the compasses point in a different direction. I think ultimately the spinning of the Earth and around the sun influence where the poles are. So, and my understanding, because whether it's like lava flows or something, that they can look back in the past and see the way iron or whatever has it lined itself in rock, like when it was fluid, and then the position of it, either that continent or whatever that is on, has flipped around, which it hasn't. I mean, it's shifted and moved over, tectonics over time, but it's not quite that. Or there's like a pole shift. Sometimes the what we call magnetic north, sometimes is in the south and sometimes in the north. And it's really sort of, if you take in all the data, including, like I say, continental drift, etc., taken in, my understanding with all that data is that it happens periodically, and it's sort of a complete shift. It doesn't like go to the equator or something, or at least not for any extended period of time. It may not flip overnight, kind of thing. It may take a few weeks or months or years to work it to flip from one pole to the other pole. But so I don't know what the. Okay, we're back to it. Oh, and we won. So and I know it's nothing we can we can do about it other than, I don't know, try to be prepared to get through the chaos of a pole shift. So it's going to be very interesting, because as a ship leaves China for the U.S. with all of its, stuff it's going to sell to the U.S., it's going to end up back in China because as it follows the compass, it's going to go, oh, it's going to, turn around halfway through and head back and think it's heading in a straight line. No, that's a joke, but yeah. So these are some of the things I worry about. What do you worry about, Arno? I'm going to start this southern spot. Okay, Arno doesn't want to say what he worries about.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I
Oh,
was
okay.
talking, but
Oh, sorry. Okay, no, we didn't hear you. What do you worry about? Please
a
say
bit
again.
about the new government here.
Okay.
Left or right spawn, by the way?
Bottom is where I'm
Bottom.
starting in and moving towards the castle.
We voted for the right, but
Right.
we're getting a leftist government.
Yes. That seems to be
Those are really scary people.
Yes, they are. I think we can now clearly understand that when I say left, I don't mean the hardcore communist Bolshevik, left. I mean just left of center. Their whole diatribe about democracy and often is bullshit. Okay? They don't believe in democracy. They believe in their ability, because it has seemed that, we're really looking at post-World War II Western civilization, that by spouting off some, and the communists also do this, excuse me here, that if they spout off about it and say democracy, 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 that people will believe them and go along with them. I don't think it's that they really believe in democracy. They believe in their leftist vision, and they believe that people will come along with it. And they believe that they could use the word democracy as a way to confer legitimacy on their government and their decisions. Because whether you believe it or not, or what not, but a lot of people did believe it, that when monarchies came out and tried to point to God for their legitimacy, as in the divine right of kings, God is placed, Bob there on the throne of what, of Bohemia, let's use the older term, as Bob the King of Bohemia. Well, that was God placing them there through, whether it's birth or through, some sort of winning some sort of battles or whatever. So they appealed to, and I think a lot of them believed it. So it's not just like a cynical play for support, but that's how they got their legitimacy, because no one is going to ever fully agree with everything somebody else does. So even if you're a generally supporter of whether it's certain policies or certain people, you're always going to have some level of dispute. Well, if you sort of kind of believe, well, that's God's will, which could be punishment, doesn't necessarily mean that everything the king or whatever is doing is for the best or always going to be perfect, but you're sort of believing that you know, the reason a storm happens, or bad weather, causing, not enough rain, too much rain, that's somehow God's will. I don't believe, God is micromanaging the weather. Like if you pray to God, not that it's wrong to pray to God, but if everybody prays to God, the rains will come, like we're raining here in this thing, and our crops will be saved. I don't believe that's the way the world works. Notice I say believe, and I'm not getting onto my religious beliefs. I'm just going, I guess I am to a minor degree, but I don't believe that. And I'm not trying to suggest prayer should not be done, or and I know because I know some of you here, not everyone believes in God, and that's fine too. I'm not trying to convince anybody, but I don't believe that my view of whatever God is something that, oh, he micromanages the weather to reward or punish an individual or group of people or whatever like that. I don't think that's how it works. But some people do. Okay. Well, I think that sort of appeal to democracy is an attempt for legitimacy, attempt for building consensus. But what is more important isn't, is it democratic or not? It's, does it align with our views? So most people vote in the Netherlands for a right-wing government of one, or, because there were several parties that were of the right, but the coalition of everybody else excludes enough of the leadership, particularly Kurt Wilders, from holding office.
Yes.
And to form coalitions, they, are enforced to maintain certain policies that are sort of the left. And
Got him.
so how,
Got me.
so you don't get something that reflects the way the most coherent group, because maybe there were more people that voted for the left than the right, but it was sort of a fractured left vote, not a a particular party. It's extreme left, left of center, center left type thing, but that's all fraction. I don't know how the countries are processing. Hello, that's a KV1, and I shot too low. Are processing their new anti-Semitism, because they thought anti-Semitism was primarily, and obviously it was in the past, primarily something of the sort of extreme right. But they're finding and modern, the modern general viewpoint is oppressed people got to be helped because they've been oppressed, and being oppressed. Okay, well, I missed that. Okay, KV1. I missed that as well. Okay. I'm sitting out here not doing very much good. And so the oppressed people are anti-Semitic. So how do they, so I don't know how the Netherlands with their, it'll never again, they're going with, oh, never again, unless, of course, they're dark-skinned people, and then we'll go hunt the Jews. And, I don't know how or why. Oh, hello. Hello, KV1. I was shooting at you earlier. Oh, you got my transmission. Nope, I didn't do so good against you. Barrel. If you were smart, you would be getting out of my line of fire. Damn. Barrel or something, I don't know. Now you're thinking about getting it. Oh shit, I keep trying to get your breach. There we go. Boom, it blew up. And literally, for Europe to survive as what we call European, culture and society, not just Europe, the geographical zone, um, uh, they've got to remove millions of people. And I don't know that the Europeans are ready for what's coming for them. I don't know that they are. Seems like my team has either died or gone into the air. Yay, we captured a zone. Where are they going to come? Wow, they're all around you, Arno.
I know. At least I'm gonna get that one. Damn it.
There's at least 5 of them out there. Hey, here's somebody. I think. Is it just my engine? Maybe. Oh, no. Somebody else, too. Okay. Yeah, that's the engine I was hearing. Let's go up to this northern spawn and see if we can shoot somebody. Moving down. Why aren't you moving away? Wow, you bounced that. And boom, somebody else gets me. Well, no point in coming back to this match. Okay, Kronos. Ready up. Put together a Soviet lineup. I see. We can now have the axis of evil. Germany and the Soviet Union against the world.
Yes.
1940 all over again. Right, let's go. Okay, well, I'm going to head towards A. Oh, we're fighting against everybody now. How interesting.
Party on it.
Yes, good idea. Come on, Kronos. Watch where you're going. Oh, you're flipping around to... Let's see that. Well, there's two of them over there. One by the church. One behind the church. Okay, Stug's turret crew is gone. Another hit. Additional damage. Got him. Good. Got him. Doing good. Good work, team. Good work. Decapping and pushing up. Hello. I think you're a Yugoslav. Yep, Yugoslav. No damage. And an Italian Sherman got me. Bondu, there's both an Italian Sherman and a Hungarian Toldi out there as well, so be wary. Uh-oh. Oh, Turan, not Toldi. Okay. Knew it was one of those. Not good with identification and names of Hungarian tanks. And I'm getting strafed. Coming down to my machine gun range. Oh, I hit him. Didn't knock him down, but I hit him. Hit you with my machine gun. My bow-mounted machine gun in my... Yeah, you pounds. It's a bomb, or two of them. And they blew me up.
Oh no.
Okay, well, I think it's... Even though the enemy's gone to air and attacking, I think it's still better to do tank destroyers and try to keep the point. Good work, Arno. Okay, come on, Orlando. Kronos. I like Kronos better, but don't know which name you prefer. Coming to help. Hetzer. I'm gonna Hetz. You download War Thunder again. Well, good. Look at that. Interesting. Okay, coming up, coming up. I'm just behind you here. Okay. Hello. He's dead. I got him. He was distracted by you, though, of course. I could tell as he came around the corner, he was surprised to see me. Fast. I think we have the time. Well, I'm addicted to War Thunder. I know that. Though I like to get other people into my addictions, yes. And boom, you got another Turon. Good. Oh, we got up on the hill here. M44. No depression. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you got him. Good work. Aircraft. Strafing me. I think it was aircraft. Don't worry about me. Save yourself. Don't worry about me. I'm good. If we stay like this, we're just a bombing target. Okay. And boom. See, bombing target. But you got out. Good. Okay. Nope. Can't. We can do that. I'm the same with Warhammer Low. I do enjoy War Thunder. It's been a hot minute since I played. Yeah, well, they've improved the game, War Thunder, considerably, and they've also made it worse as well. So, and they're introducing, I think in a closed beta, an infantry mode.
Infantry.
Yeah. It's not going to... Infantry won't come into this combined land-air battle mode that we're currently playing in. It's going to be a different mode. So, which I think is smart in that it won't ruin or make any worse this game that we're playing right now. So whether the infantry mode is a good mode to play in or not, I don't know. I believe if it's done right, it can be really good. And so far, I think the infantry is just AI infantry. I don't know if they really plan on trying to make it so you could player infantry, you know, go into a town with Molotov cocktails or something and, you know, drop them on tanks or whatever. I don't know. But, and whether that'll improve the game or not, I don't know. But I'm that. Now, you say Warhammer, I'm not sure which Warhammer you're talking about. I like Warhammer 40k Battle Sector. That game I really do like. I think Gladius is okay. I know there's the, you know, the big Warhammer AAA game. I have not played that. And I know that's gotten rather popular, so it may be very good. But I don't work for, with, whatever, that company, so they've not given one to me for free, and I've not decided to invest the money into it at the moment yet. Because I like Warhammer. I don't... Oh, hello. Oop, and boom, you blew me up. I don't love it deeply or anything. I like it. I think the Battle Sector game is done very well. Their sort of story campaign that they've done is really good. So, I have a burning wreck, but it'll keep me warm at night, my burning wreck. There's Arna.
There's me.
Yep. You're starring on a YouTube channel, Arna.
No. Again?
We're seeing the guy in the back looking up and spacing out, looking into the sky. He actually looked over towards the camera.
And
That's
now
that's how I picture Arno sitting in the back of the vehicle, thinking, "When am I going to eat next? When are we going to get some food?"
And drinks.
And drinks. Okay, food and drinks. You got an aircraft up, yeah. A little far away. Oh no, now he's coming in. Yeah. You're low. Okay, yeah. The whole time, you just let you know you were trailing behind him, so you need to lead more.
Oh, I hit him.
Yeah.
Something fell off.
Yeah, no, you're much more on target because I have a slightly different perspective than you. That whole pass was much more on target.
Come on, something
Interesting, might be a bit
you.
over ambitious, but still intriguing. I was brought in with the tabletop, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. Yeah. Well, I actually started tabletop. One of my cousins was very much of a war gamer as well. Younger than me by 5, 6 years or something. I don't remember exactly, but and he and some friends had Warhammer miniatures way back, and this is back in the probably the early '90s. I played that just a bit. I never bought any miniatures or anything. I just, filled in as one of the additional players way back then. I've listened to one or two audiobooks. One was sort of focusing on a squad on some planet and their sort of adventures. So I really don't know a lot of their lore. I know there's huge amounts of it. Like I say, just like one or two audiobooks I've listened to. I really enjoyed the battle sector, and the lore and whatnot that they were giving in that thing. So I think it's really cool. I just how much do you fill your head with stuff? How much time do you have, to get into a whole new lore world? Because we used to have things like Star Wars and Star Trek. Those have all gone away. Oh, I know there's skin suit things they call Star Wars and Star Trek, but they're not. They're just something with the putting on the uniform or the branding, and it's just something entirely different, reimagined, kind of thing. And just trying to suck, vampirically suck off the other thing. So one I've recently been going through and is I don't physically read as much as I used to, as in like novels and things, but I listen to a lot of audiobooks. That's not the process of reading, but you're still intaking through audio the book. And I've recently, got the new one too, but been doing the David Weber's Honorverse books, Honor Harrington. I don't know if any of you have ever read those. And I, about 10 years, I really got into science fiction that mostly was future humans, but not in a Star Wars or Star Trek type galaxy with like a plethora of aliens. One of the series did introduce a lot of aliens later, but was very sort of focused on what humanity might be like in a at least region of the galaxy in which there's no other, starship aliens. You got alien planets that not, at least for the most part in several of these series, especially like David Drake's series and others, that there wasn't like, overly intelligent life. The idea of, something as smart as a dog or something, oh, certainly, but not, talking and building, buildings or things like that. Just sort of interesting other worlds out there. So reading a lot of that stuff a while ago and just going through the Honorverse books. But I still consume a lot of literature, just more audiobooks than now for, still buy and read significant elements of like history books or reference books, things like that. And I have a large collection of those. But just as enjoyment reading, before going to sleep or whatever, I don't do that as much as I used to. Uh-oh. Oh, he's back.
There he is again.
Cool. And I just got shot from somewhere. I see it's that same Sark that killed me before. Okay, there's somebody way out here. But be careful. It's a Sark in tan. One of the key, and I've learned a lot from watching Fly Daily. One of the things that make him so successful, I mean, he is just good, okay, as in, the twitch and move elements of the game. I don't want to diminish that. But one of the lessons that he very much does is he gets into unexpected places. There we go. And so the more unexpected you can be, and this is why I'm moving. One, I just like the flanks. I'm tactically trying to always feel out my opponent's flanks. But two, if I can get into an area, this time it's sort of, they got Kronos, rear flank. But if I can get into, a position that they're not expecting me, then I can do much better. Where all of the other, or not all, because we also have this person out at C1, but a lot of the team is moving right up the center of the line. And it gets to the point the enemy only they have to do is figure out where the front line is, and they move up to there and then do battle. Where I want to get into their flanks when they still think they're, in friendly territory, take them out. I think the guy moving along that south of the map, that whoever scouted or whatever, maybe the Sark, just reborn. And you got my track again. Guess he's been scouted. I think if that's a British, and yes, P-47 strafed me out. So be careful. No, I think I'll. Good. Went to the gun show this Friday. It was a 3-day gun show. It was the best gun show I've been in recent times, in the last 5-6 years.
That was nice.
It took me about 4 hours to walk it once. And just because I'm still recovering, that really kicked my butt. I had taken couple of 20-minute breaks sitting down on a picnic bench type thing and just actually sitting there listening to my audiobook before getting going again. And I was planning on walking it twice, but I was just too tired to walk it. Didn't get a whole lot, but I learned a lot because I like to see what's available, like to see what the prices they're offering for things. I talked to, didn't make any proper friends or anything, but I talked to some of the people there, including some of the people selling stuff. One guy said, I sold and I forget what it was, sold it. Then I walked around and I found out I gave it away. It was just, my price on it was, was so cheap. And I said to him, look, did you look around, look, all the other whatever guns it was on there, they're all still sitting on somebody's table. Meaning the price that they're putting on on a lot of the guns there are rather high, and they're not selling. Now, not everybody's trying to dump everything they have. Well, I just got to sell it today. What's the best price I can get? I get that. I really, trust me, I do. But, but if you actually want to sell some of your things, you may need to. Yeah, there he is. I hit his machine gun, his base of machine gun, and nothing happened. Not even knocking out his machine gun. Let's see if I can take out his turret right there. There you go. Yeah, he's British.
Did you buy anything cool, gamer, or?
I bought 2 stocks.
All right.
One was not. If you use real tank tactics, it will work to your advantage low. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's the same guy that was in the SARC. Just his tactics. And he's British. One was a bad condition, just the wood for a DP-27 or DP-28. Machine gun. That's a Russian. That's the one with the big platter magazine on top. What?
Dinner plate gun.
Yeah, dinner plate gun.
Dinner plate gun.
Exactly. And I do have a kit for one of those, meaning one that's cut up, in good shape, except for the torch cuts on it. So maybe I'll build that someday. And I already do have it. But the guy didn't know what it was. He knew he didn't know what it was, and he initially said $60. I go, nah, 20. He said, well, make me happy, 25, and I did it. Do I need it? No, but maybe I'll have a use for it. I don't know. So just the wood's in rough shape. The wood could be, improved. And not that I need that, but that was the other sort of interesting thing was back, I don't know, in the 70s or something. In the United States, if you're going to have a quote-unquote rifle, it needs to have a 16-inch barrel. So what some company did was they made barrels and shoulder stocks and a mainspring housing for a 1911 pistol. And the barrels were 16 inches, so you got this pistol with this super long barrel on it. Well, this guy had one of the shoulder stocks, just the shoulder stock, and I had to ask because I wasn't sure what gun it was for, though I did have a suspicion, and so, and I knew from long in the past, I knew you needed the mainspring housing, which is at the back of the pistol grip. For the 1911, a removable piece. You need to have something to have it clipped on there. And I don't know how hard it would be to change some other mainspring housing to work with it. But for $20, I bought the stock, just the stock. So I thought that was a good deal. And I never really wanted one of those kits because I didn't want a freaking 16-inch barrel sticking out on a pistol. But starting next year, you can get free, basically, cost zero for an SBR for a gun, meaning you still have to go through all the quote-unquote paperwork, but, it's right now just on the computer. And get permission for a short-barreled rifle. So if I can find a mainspring housing that either I can, that either set up to work for it or I can make it work, then I can get a shoulder stock on one of my 1911s. So those are the only two things I've got. But it was fun going. I had a good day. But man, I'm still sore from that. Because it was rather big, actually. Now, what would be good tactic-wise here, whether you call it real tank tactics or not, but really try to work as a squad. And you can, depends on the map, because some maps, most players like city maps. They like short ranges. They really want to play in cities, and I don't get that. I don't know if it's because they're so used to first-person shooters that are in cities, or whether they just don't like, range finding is a problem for them, or whether it's... And it's quite true that, and I will often die from it, you're often more likely to die from somebody you don't spot out here in long ranges. Just go boom, and, somebody sees you and you don't see them. And they don't like that. I think maybe some of that is the reasons. I don't know all of the reasons why people don't like more open maps. But I grew up playing micro armor, tabletop micro armor. And so I like tank battles. Most tank battles happen in relatively open terrain. Yeah, sure, some hills, but even when, they add more hills and whatnot, and it's to these maps, and I don't like that. I mean, I don't hate all of it by any means, but why the hell do we have a tank battle in downtown Stockholm? To me, that's just ridiculous. So, but players like it. Oh, well, of course. Now, of course, when we're talking real life, we're talking about, okay, you spotted my shot, so you die. There's infantry that can literally just throw Molotov cocktails out windows on top of tanks and get them burning. So you're absolutely right. Tanks can be very useful in cities. If you look at, like, say, the Battle of Hue during Vietnam, that's Hue City, H-U-E. The Marine Corps and whatnot use tanks very effectively, but they're fire support vehicles, meaning they hang back. The infantry are clearing, house to house, and they're sort of brought up to, blast a building once they identify an enemy position, kind of thing. They're not, they're not leading the front with, oh, well, that was a bad, hit him, but bad shot. Oh, good, you're stopping for me. There you go, thanks for stopping. Yeah, I see you there. Oh. Hit. No penetration. I'll hit you anywhere as long as I'm hitting you. Oh, you moved. I think. Or is that just a... Yeah. Oh, hello. Well, got your track at least. And Arno got him. Great work, Arno.
Gamer.
Okay, let's see if I can move around this little rock here.
Critted him.
Okay, good. I think I see him. Okay, another crit. His transmission and driver are out, so he isn't moving.
Out.
Hit no damage. And Arno got him. Good job. See, like, if you work like this as a team, you really slaughter the enemy. Now, of course, if we're a little too close together here for a bomb, But that's our big danger right now. I'm just saying. Just got overflown and I got tracked. No problem.
10 seconds. So.
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, they're on B. And bombs coming in, and they got us. B-17. Now that was a B-17, so they can drop big enough bombs, etc. Okay, let's go in for some urban combat. And yes, we'll go in as white, because these buildings are white. In my lifetime, I can still remember a bit about Grozny and the shit show that was early days for armor. Yeah. You've got to use, armor is just, fire support.
Direct front, gamer.
Okay. I think I see what you're talking about. Hit, no damage. Somebody got him.
Sorry, bumped up.
Good work.
B-17 coming towards us, gamer.
Yeah, I'm running. And a AMX-13 got me. So you can't. Okay, watch the flank, Arno. There's a couple of guys out there. I think to your right. You're moving into line of fire.
I'm being shot from all sides.
Yeah. So you got to have your infantry go first, identify targets, move them up. Move up. Hello, you're coming fast. And boom. Move up and kill identified targets. And armor can be very effective then, but it needs to be used that way. You can't use it like you would use it in open terrain as a major pushing force. Yeah, no point in coming back in. Okay, guys, I think this is going to be it for today. I've had fun, but my voice is starting to go a little bit, so I'm going to...
Yeah, you're sounding a little bit
hoarse, yeah. So I'm not feeling too bad or anything. It just, my voice isn't doing so great. So I want to thank, of course, Kronos and Arno for playing with me, and Hoffmanator for just hanging out, and the few other people, there's a few other people out there, for watching and just hanging out. I do appreciate it. Tuesday at some time during Tuesday, there's going to be what they're calling it, I think, Slithering Next. They're talking about future games coming out for Slithering and Matrix. I will be doing just 1 hour stream of Starship Troopers, sort of at the end of all that, I believe. I don't remember what time it was. I think like midnight British time or something. It's fairly late. Or 10 p.m. or I don't know, sort of late British time. I will be streaming on Tuesday, and then I should be back next weekend. So far, it looks like most of this winter I will continue doing Saturday and Sunday streams. There just isn't much going on. So we will be continuing those. So I want to